from the visitors. The return of the PWR then after that Guinness Women's Six Nations break. The circus in town for Loughborough Lightning at home. And it's Sadia Kabea who will do the first job to give them go forward, as she was doing for England so often. Of course, no Helena Rowland in the Loughborough Lightning side, still out with injury. I do wonder whether she might have, had she been fully fit, also had a little eye on where we know Meg Jones and Ellie Kildunn have gone to keep those hopes of Olympic sevens alive.
Tackler, no clear release.
Need a release in a tackle from Gloucester-Hartpury, and it's the penalty to the home side.
7, no clear release. No, sorry.
Perfectly explained that. But Loughborough Lightning and their intent to want to play, gone through multiple phases and really strong carries. Sadia Kabea kicking it all off. But this was the penalty which have given Loughborough Lightning just a little bit of territory. Not a clear release there. Can you imagine Gloucester-Hartpury are going to go hard at that breakdown and try and stop Loughborough Lightning's flow.
Maya Muller, Swedish international, first start since December. And Lucy Weaver into the centre to Morale, wearing that 12 shirt. Scarrett at 13, who is the dummy runner off Helen Nelson. Bo Westcombe-Evans looking to try and make some work in the middle as well. Decent fluency from Lightning to begin with. And you just wonder, all that time at international level where the pace is ever quicker, almost gives those players who've been up there just that extra half second of thought to perform at club level.
Use it.
Weaver under a fair amount of pressure. Hollywood happy to allow things to play on, and it's turnover possession, and this is exactly what Gloucester-Hartpury like, looking to try and find some width. Back in field goes Pip Hendy. Singh wanting to try and get a step on the outside. Singh, but Mo Hunt gets quick service. Oh, and it's nicely tipped on from Bethan Lewis. Gloucester-Hartpury taking up good position here in the Loughborough Lightning 22 and wanting the quick ball. It's Hurd feeding Crakey George, stepping back in. 7 metres out now. Looking ominous, a little juggle of the ball, but
Not rolling.
we are going to come back for the penalty, not rolling away. And Natasha Hunt wants to go super quick, manages to get the ball away.
Okay, stop there.
Over the line. Ball is down.
Okay, cool.
And Hollywood is just getting a check.
Taken over by you and grounded, scrum 5. Okay.
It's going to be the 5-metre scrum.
Time's up, guys.
I mean, the quick tap from Mo Hunt was exceptional. Here she is. But this here, as a tackle and a strip, that is absolutely sensational. Carmela Morale, how about this? Stripped and then taken back. We talk about try-saving tackles. That's exactly what that was. And Gloucester-Hartpury wanting to play with that tempo. The first visit into the 22 by the champions, but denied their outstanding work.
Yeah, first year under 20.
Okay,
Had the pleasure of commentating on the last week as the England under-20s took on
the 5.
Wales in Bristol.
Okay.
LJ Lewis, who's coaching the under-20s. Definitely seeing Morale as a growing triple threat, offering directness, good pass, also developing the kicking options.
See Gloucester-Hartpury and just how they're setting up right now. Have a look at 10-12, Tatiana Hurd, who's so dynamic, so physical. What you expect from Gloucester-Hartpury is to get some dominance at this scrum. And if they do, you just see how flat and on top of Loughborough Lightning they're wanting to get to.
Such a good Six Nations. Tatiana Hurd really came into her own. Started 4 out of 5 in the championship.
penalty advantage.
There's a penalty advantage already being played. Alex Matthews is going from the base. She's going to be denied initially, but it's there for Hunt now. Under this advantage, Hunt's just Hurd going straight for the line. Tatiana Hurd. Well, we just talked up the strength and the role she played in the championship, and she's got her head down to get straight over the line. First blood to the visitors, and Hurd bringing the power game.
Yeah, the centre of attention we highlighted off the back of that scrum. And it's her power game. I think her passing game and the deception which she brings to a game is exceptional. She has absolutely no right to be able to score this try. It's a flat ball, kicks out of one, carries over another. And that level of execution, dynamism and efficiency from the champions is something that we have grown to expect from them. An excellent score from Tatiana Hurd. Have a look at this, standing start. Just look at how dynamic she is through her, gets herself in such a good body position. And Karen Helen Nelson over the try line. Become such a mainstay within the Red Roses side. Such a focal point. Plenty happens in and around her. And through her.
Gloucester-Hartpury then with 7-0 advantage early on. And Emma Singh pulled in to make the clearance.
You're on the 10 for me.
Interestingly enough, Nick, we are just under 6 minutes into the game, and that's the first kick we have seen in the field of play. It's a sunny day, it's a beautiful pitch, and two teams that really want to play ball in hand.
Lovely to have you with us on the PWR, Hugo. It's like this every week.
I know, I'm enjoying it.
Helen Nelson into that Loughborough Lightning midfield. And again, it's good service from all. The suggestion of the intercept possibly for Hurd was right there. Well, that's going to be a penalty.
Number 13, offbeat.
Goes against the Welsh captain, Hannah Jones.
It's a tough one because Gloucester-Hartpury have now given away 2 penalties, both of them at the breakdown. And now it's just given Helen Nelson and Lightning an opportunity just to be able to punch their way into the Champions 22 for the first time today.
Decent win. Emma Wassell brings it down. How Loughborough Lightning would love to get an immediate punch back. They had that good fluency in the first few minutes, and then you could see how quick and ruthless Gloucester-Hartpury were. Lightning need to be able to find a similar way through, and who else is going to give them that than Emily Scarrett? And then the quick pick and go. Try time. It is the riposte from Loughborough Lightning. Exactly what was needed. And it's a welcome back to top-line rugby for one Laura Keats. All of that experience, the first bust by her Rugby World Cup winning teammate, Emily Scarrett. And then she was there with the quick pick and go. Lightning strike back.
Certainly was. I mean, we were speaking about Tatiana Hurd just a couple of moments ago, but it was the penalty at the breakdown which gave Lightning that opportunity. And how about this for a line from Emily Scarrett, bisecting it, getting over the advantage line. And because of the speed of that breakdown, Laura Keats picked and went and gives Lightning their first try of today.
Not the best strike from Scarrett. We've seen Helena Rowland knocking a fair few over the course of the season.
I mean, the kick wasn't Scarrett's best, but this line here, how good. If anyone wants to understand the importance of having top quality centres in your side, then just clip up the last couple of minutes, have a watch of Emily Scarrett and Tatiana Hurd, and I think you'll find your answer.
We made a little of Emily Scarrett. Oh, little loss over the shoulder from Sadia Kabea, but look at the ability to suddenly turn a wrong into a right. And Cabella surveying the options, transferring the ball to the right side out of the tackle from Singh. That's how to do it. Now it's front football again. Lightning have come here to play. And they find the wide outside again. Westcombe Evans. Turnover, though, is superb. Hurd getting in there and slowing down that Lightning momentum at a key moment. And now it's there for Mo Hunt with George, but Hunt was scragged by Wassell and we'll go back.
Sarah asked me beforehand, should Lightning be higher up the league table? And I said, yeah, because they've got brilliant players. One of them is Sadia Cabella. I mean, she ends up dropping the ball and then turning that around into a 50, 60-metre break. Emma Singh at the back to affect that tackle, but it gives Lightning that lightning quick ball. Unfortunate for them not to be able to capitalise off the back of it, but what we've seen in the last few moments is just some of the individual threats that Loughborough Lightning really can pose.
Ball in from Hunt. Decent drive and the advantage at scrum time going to the Cherry and Whites, and Hunt fancies a little dart down the short side, and she's got her mate with her. Two co-captains in tandem. Advantage is deemed enough from Hollywood. Quite refreshing to see that. Loughborough Lightning get themselves up to the 22, and Emily Scarrett again stepping in. Gloucester-Hartpury trying to get themselves through and in fact managing to win the penalty. Just a word, Hugo. I mean, Zoe Allcroft is back playing for club because her first game of the season she got injured. Her first game back was playing for England. And you've got someone like Emily Scarrett who is now back playing some of her best rugby, having rediscovered form at international level. I mean, it's not like returning on a quiet afternoon to rediscover your form, is it?
It's not, because the ball in playtime is so high. And as we've seen there, it's the downfall of Loughborough Lightning there. They've not kicked the ball. They've not kicked the ball in the field of play. They're playing from everywhere. And I think Gloucester, the likes of an Allcroft and Matthews, they're going to be targeting those breakdowns and not giving them anything and trying to pin them into their corner. Prime position now for Gloucester-Hartpury to make the most of this.
Movement at the front. It's actually gone on an overthrow, and Tasha Hunt, job to pick it up, but I think just nudging it forward, she's going to get a stern stare as Hollywood from the England and Gloucester-Hartpury scrum half. You might think it was a cleaner pickup than seen by the referee.
Straight up both sides. Crouch! Bind!
Lucy Weaver. Third Premiership Women's Rugby appearance of the season. Oh, but look at the win there for Gloucester-Hartpury. And Mo Hunt is quite happy to let the forwards just keep marching that forwards and get closer to the line. It is going to come back for the penalty, but worrying times at set piece for Loughborough.
Scrum again.
Yeah, funnily enough, off the back of the last couple of scrums, Gloucester-Hartpury have opted for that. Maudmer, how brilliant have the last couple of scrums been? There she is there. Having a stellar game, having a stellar season. Yeah. Stellar few years, really.
Absolutely. Wonderful edited rounds up of each of the Women's Six Nations weekends as well on our socials. So good. She's got an infectious smile, but smiling assassin, really, given the power that she brings at scrum time.
And with this, you could imagine the weight will go through Maud. Yes, get that tight head up, which really opens up.
Matthews controlling it at the base, picking it up. And absolutely no match defensively for Alex Matthews, with her hairpin back and ready to go. Player of the match in that Grand Slam decider and bringing that form of power to the PWR.
This is about perfect choreography tight head going up, which opens it up, creating a one-on-one for Alex Matthews just to barge at and run at Helen Nelson. I mean, Alex Matthews in any one-on-one collision, she's often going to win that. Yeah. But a forward against the back, 5 metres out, whilst Matthews will take all the plaudits. Massive props to the props.
2 out of 2 for Emma Singh. But yeah, Helen Nelson would have been staring at that going, I don't remember an invite to this particular party. As Alex Matthews came charging towards her. Put her body on the line, but there was only going to be one result.
It's all power, isn't it? But when you are playing against a champion side like Loughborough are today, every mistake is going to get punished. And that's what we've seen from the last couple of visits from Gloucester-Hartpury.
Started that PWR final last year at 6. She'll be hoping for another chance. Oh, a little bit of tackers from Hunt. Oh, but that time she did knock it on.
Knock on here.
She's just having a little look at herself and wondering if she's borrowed someone else's hands.
Yeah, I mean, the touch is absolutely stunning. How good is the control? She's done that bit, and then... But everything about it was great, apart from the touch, because the control was excellent. The tight spiral was just the knock-on in between. And this will be the slightly disappointing thing for Gloucester-Hartpury is they've just scored a brilliant try. They've invited Loughborough Lightning back into it.
Won a 7th Grand Slam with England.
Is that all?
Yeah, just a few. Go with that World Cup. But now she's got a chance to put some pressure on Weaver and nearly get the turnover as well. But Helen Nelson was there to take the ball that was scooped away by Hunt, effectively in the wrong direction. And now Weaver, Cabea offering herself. Goes straight forwards, advantage called over. Weaver has Scarrett looking for it and then trying to find Rachel Malcolm to put through the hole. Loughborough Lightning and Scotland captain. Scotland, of course, managing to get that 4th placed finish. Going into WXV2 later in the year, along with Italy once more. Little check on the pass, it was sensible from Carmela Morale. Back in field, Weaver, Nelson, Keats. Just happy to carry into that little bit of contact. Weaver, slightly quicker service, using Tasker, and then Scarrett found its way to Scantlebury. It's right on the fingertips from everybody down the touchline, but it is still Loughborough Lightning going forwards, and it's the big frame of Kath O'Donnell. Unfortunate not to get many of the Six Nations minutes she might have liked, but certainly ready to tear it up for club. Lightning again in the shadow of the posts. Can they find enough momentum? Can they find the holes in this tight Gloucester-Hartpury defence? The ball out is behind Weaver. She's barely seen it. Oh, Keats was quite lucky that actually half of Gloucester-Hartpury had overchased it.
Yeah, for me, Loughborough Lightning at this minute, they've got a couple of options to do. Is try and spread the field at the moment. They are pretty narrow, and they're probably not getting the speed of ball which they'd want. As Emily Scarrett bursts her way through, and now the tackle bust for her.
They are queuing up Maya Muller. Little sell from Daisy Hibbert-Jones. Really good continuity. Nelson, she had Scarrett on her shoulder, opted to go herself. Using Scarrett as the decoy that time. Now they're going for the close quarters. Hugely bunched under that right-hand post. Loughborough Lightning up to the most phases they've ever put together over the course of their season. Can they find the line? They don't want to be held up over it, that's for sure. Cabea there.
Penalty advantage.
And now we've got a penalty advantage. So they can afford to look for a little bit more width, but they're keeping it tight. Referee Hollywood says we're going to bring you back.
Number 7, offside.
How patient, how very good was that from Loughborough. I said they were really tight and maybe not winning the collisions or getting the speed of ball. But it's amazing what they're able to do. Just keep hold of the ball, as you just said there. Most phases this season. And that's given them this option off the back of that penalty advantage.
On the line, guys.
Just to take this liner, which they'll need to secure. and go back to that power game.
Relatively brave kick from Helen Nelson there, because she had to just pump that down a 5-metre wide alley and get it spot on. Loughborough Lightning then looking to exert the catch and drive. Cabea helping transfer it back for Muller. Can they get the right amount and go forward? Can they get down over the line? It is the try. Maya Muller certainly had the ball as they took it in. Loughborough Lightning chasing the Gloucester-Hartpury scores, but still managing to get that 2 tries apiece. New contract signed in October, and the Swedish international getting a key score.
Yeah, this is excellent setup from them. You can see Gloucester-Hartpury trying to get their paws all over it, but the work at the front, creating those pathways, just to be able to get the ball down. I'll tell you what, this game has been such high class, and the best thing about it is that their conversion rate when they get into the 22s. Gloucester-Hartpury have been in there twice, come away with 2 tries. Loughborough Lightning converted exactly the same. Emily Scarrett missed her first attempt as an opportunity to close the gap to 2.
Yeah, that was great. Thanks. Let me know when it's 5.
Sent that one much more nicely on its way. Scarrett gets the extras. Loughborough Lightning up to 12. Gloucester-Hartpury noses in front on 14.
Very good one for the forwards. We saw Gloucester-Hartpury show their power through their scrum, and Loughborough Lightning's response was through their driving more. The power game right across the pitch has been so obvious to see.
Restart walloped straight down the middle from Claky George.
And you can understand as to why Claky George is kicking long, because Loughborough don't want to kick the ball. In fact, they still haven't kicked the ball infield at all. They want to play from everywhere and put pressure on Gloucester-Hartpury's defence, which so far has given away a couple of penalties at the ruck, but looking to be really patient here.
Yeah, they're nearly managing to get through at times. Helen Nelson had dropped a little deeper into the pocket that time, as Keats
No, it's not out.
next to try and take a couple of extra metres. Then O'Donnell, then a bit more depth on for Nelson. Cabea just dummying in front of Hannah Jones. Still in their 22, crucially.
I just wonder, with the heat and with the pace of this game, and I applaud the ability to want to continue playing, however, understanding... Oof.
Well, Kelsey Jones was in a good position to get the ball. I think Maud Muir is the one who's gone down. Certainly thoughts with Maud Muir as she's down and perhaps in a fair bit of discomfort.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, water can come on. Just Gloucester restart. Yeah, had an advantage for the knock-on by, yeah. So 2 knock-ons, yeah. 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 James, I'll probably stay your side for scrums. Yeah. Yeah. Should we walk over to the shade? Let's go over to the shade. Yeah. we'll go for Showed.
Well, we've got our own heavyweight contest here on the field, but we've got a moment's pause while Kelsey Jones receives some treatment, so we can go and join LJ, who I believe has found Helena Rowland. Over to you.
For a second then, Nick, I thought you were going to call me a heavyweight, and I was ready to come up and deck you. Obviously, we hope that everything's okay with Kelsey Jones. Normally at this point, I'm a bit scared to go and speak to Nathan, but actually I think today I would have been straight up those steps, but I pinched you already. This is exactly the start that you guys wanted to this game against the league's leaders, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously both have come off the back of the Six Nations, haven't played together as these squads for a while, but we've massively spoken about being brave, aiming for those 4 tries, and then you got those, and anything can happen. And I think you've really seen that in how clinical we've been in their red zone, and also just not always coming off, but how we're trying to play from our half as well.
And it looks like power games so far. Is that the place that Nathan has talked about matching them?
Yeah, definitely. I think you play Gloucester-Hartpury and you know that they've got some big players. So if you don't match that, it's going to be a long day. I think it's something that's been worked really hard on this week, and I think so far we're fronting up. Obviously 2 points in it, which we'll take at this point, and hopefully we can keep building on that.
I'm obviously a neutral here. I want both of the teams to do really well, but when Laura Keats was the first player over the line for Loughborough Lightning, I jumped up and cheered as well. How pleased will all of you be for her today, getting back on this paddock after 2 years?
Oh, so pleased. I think it's obviously been a really difficult journey for her for the last, obviously 2, but even before that. I think, yeah, she's been a firm favourite since she's arrived here, and to see her on the score sheet this week is really good, and it shows, I suppose, the type of squad we are, that she can slot straight in and start kind of second game in scoring tries for us. So yeah, I think really pleased for her, and hopefully she can keep it up.
And obviously 2 tries apiece, a lot of rugby left to play in this game, but what will the key messages be that you'll be taking onto the pitch with those bottles of water?
A lot of it is still around that physicality, around the breakdown, making sure we can keep getting that quick ball, and then once we're in their half, we've proven kind of 2 from 2, we've been clinical, so we've just got to keep doing that, not waste our chances, because we know we're not going to get too many against a side like Gloucester.
Thanks for your time, Hals. Speak to you later.
See you later. Thank you.
A heavyweight interview from Laura Jane Jones. So Kelsey Jones continues to just get a bit of treatment as Nathan Smith just prowls out of shot, the Loughborough Lightning head coach, also known as Mr. Sarah Hunter. Apparently he did ask if she wanted to bring her boots and play this week. She turned him down. rather enjoying life as a coach of the Red Roses. Well, you would if you've just won your first Grand Slam title and medal as a coach.
Yeah, she's doing reasonably well, isn't she? And fair play to her, absolutely loving it. I'll tell you what, it's been a really good week, hasn't it, the last few weeks? The Red Roses doing so well, back to PWR. But also the fascinating news looking ahead to the Olympics, which is brilliant. You think of the likes of Abby Brown, who's here today and part of that GB setup. But the excitement, I mean, first of all, Ray-Bans and short dungarees, that's a brilliant look, isn't it, I think, on a Sunday. So great to see her here and watching the PWR. But I think the exciting news of Meg Jones as well as Ellie Kilton. There's Sarah Hunter, loving life. But yeah, how good is that to be able to get Meg Jones as well as Ellie Kilton, who I think is the best player on the planet at the moment.
Yeah, there's certainly going to be some real selection headaches on that front. The medics are in a position to be taking Kelsey Jones for a bit of further treatment. Full-time contract with Wales, super international. We certainly wish her the very best. Injury, an unfortunate part of the game. And her teammates are certainly going to give her the applause as she leaves the field as well. It'll be Neve Jones who steps onto the field to replace Jones.
Yeah. If you try and watch my angle, I'm literally on the outside.
So we'll resume the action. We were told there might be a bit of a water break at some point in the first half. Well, unfortunate injury to Kelsey Jones has certainly provided
guys, Mark's over here.
The teams with a bit of chance to get some fluids on. Have a rest in the shade. Back into our 2-point game.
Speaking to Helena Rowland just about the accuracy, especially in the 22s, which is fairly ominous for Gloucester-Hartpury off the back of that 6-minute break. How can they just refocus, reset, and get back into that type of fluency and efficiency that we've seen from them so far in this game.
Good central position this for the visitors. They're getting that wheel again and that power on the scrum. Matthews opts to use it. Feeds Hunt. Other options outside. Hunt just looked to try and straighten and go herself. Still there with Gloucester-Hartpury getting ever closer to the line. Hunt will feed it away to the left. Sarah Beckett stops short again. Manages to place it. Now they drive once more under the posts.
Okay, take a step.
Allcroft unable to quite get there. Bethan Lewis got the support on the outside. It's Alex Matthews. Scored a try very similar for England against France, and she's doing it back in club colours. It's a second try of the match for Alex Matthews, a third for the Cherry and Whites.
I tell you what, this is a proper good try, starting from that scrum once again. But they were going through the front door, but absolutely sensational in terms of Natasha Hunt and her decision-making, spotting where the space is and exploiting it. I thought Mo Hunt almost got there herself, but the patience once again to batter down the front door and then mixing it up. Beautiful offload, Alex Matthews off the shoulder. And it's once again that choreography of understanding where the space is, not just running into bodies, but putting quality players into soft shoulders or into space. And Alex Matthews, well, we know she's a world-class player, and this Gloucester-Hartpury team are world-class finishers.
Singh to take the visitors beyond a score. Just curls that one in. Loughborough 12, Gloucester-Hartpury up to 21 now.
It's a quality finish once again. Helen Road has been to LJ about the physicality. That wasn't the issue there for Loughborough Lightning. Thought they really muscled up and fronted up. It's just the quality.
Has been punch and counter punch over the course of the match so far. Gloucester-Hartpury have been the ones to get the first shot in. Loughborough Lightning will know how important it is that they are able to reply once more as Nelson feeds into the tackle of Hendy, who did a really good job of ripping that away. Just a little bit loose. Came in starting for the absent Rachel Lund, who's making her return on the bench today, Pip Hendy. Made her debut against Saracens in January, that club debut just in the Cup in September. She's really been enjoying life.
It's really good there from Hendy, isn't it? But the blueprint for Gloucester's ability to finish has been quite an obvious one. Their territory game, it's a lovely kick from Mo Hunt, wasn't it? 50, 60 metres, then play off the mistakes from Loughborough Lightning and then try and punish them with their attack. And the scrum has been one of the exceptional parts of their games in the opening 26 minutes.
Hunt for George. Dummy is going to allow Hendy to come off the left wing. There again, Allcroft just gets the offload away, and they're combining well, forwards and backs. Beckett, now for Hurd, on for Muir. Muir, oh, just getting out of the tackle and able to get it on for Neve Jones. Irish hooker replacement as Hunt feeds Hurd back for Allcroft. The Red Roses combining nicely, but now Loughborough Lightning trying to hold this up. Eventually tackle called as the knee hits the ground. Hunt again. Look from Steph Else just to try and get through. Hunt having another little look, thinking there might be a mismatch in this midfield. Hurd will sweep it up. Circus tiptoeing around this 22, and they've had a fairly decent conversion rate the few times they've been in this area of the park over the course of the first 25, 27 minutes or so, as Beckett goes again. Hunt will go the same way. Real scrap for the ball. It's Emily Scarrett defensively trying to put a body on the line. Now have they got room on the right? George fishes it wide, a chance to step back in. Is it going to open up? Not quite. Another feed. Beckett again. Offload off the floor. Still Loughborough Lightning managed to shut the door. Gloucester-Hartpury having to work really hard for this score. But has the try just been scored?
Yes.
Oh, goodness me. The awareness of Hunt just to spot the defence, falling asleep for a millisecond. It's brilliant from the scrum half.
It really is, and I've got to say, in amongst the brilliance of Gloucester-Hartpury's attack, I think Loughborough Lightning have defended valiantly and certainly been really physical. Had an opportunity at a couple of choke tackles there. Sarah Beckett taking that ball on.
Thanks, yeah.
But look how quick some of it is. Maud Muir, how good, busting through the tackles, keeping the ball alive. And even when Loughborough have won collisions, the likes of Sarah Beckett, the dexterity, the body management to still be able to get the ball back. And then when you have a sniper in your team, someone as talented and experienced as Mo Hunt, they take those chances. They are proper rugby assassins. 4 entries, 4 tries.
Bonus point secured then for the league champions as they chase down the opportunity to go back-to-back. It's another one from Singh. Kicking has improved over the course of the season. And with these 4 conversions now,
Is that clock accurate?
got herself up to
Oh, that's on you, yeah. Cool.
98 points. That is considerable error.
An error on an error.
Scrum from the middle.
Not what you want. And unfortunately, in terms of the energy tank as well, it's an error which feeds into probably an area where Gloucester feel very comfortable and pretty dominant the scrum.
Well, Sean Lynn talking this week about how they need their set piece and their territory to be their anchors, but how they also want to have a license to inspire. They do a lot of that through their turnover and counter-attack ball. But from positions like this in the centre of the field, options left and right.
Well, that's exactly it. You've got Clakey George on the left and you've got Emma Singh on the right, and depending which wheel they get up, Loughborough Lightning now trying to manage to be able to figure out which way. You see Mo Hunt's wanting to go to the right and break. Kick pass run options.
Tried to get the offload through the gap. That's just gone forwards. Could see what she was trying to do, just to keep the defence guessing, and while they did so, to go through the gap herself.
Well, they're getting the platform, really, to allow their decision-makers to do whatever they do. Just leans across the pitch. Now she looks for the chicken wing offload. It's actually not a knock-on. I think it's play on. She manages to get the ball back onto Morale's head. Unlucky. Because that could have been a potential 5th try. But once again, when you do have that physical dominance up front from set piece, it just enables you to be able to have more time on your hands, and then it comes down to execution.
Guys, come up. There's stability on both sides. Guys, my cadence slow on purpose, okay? Trying to get you all stable. Same again, same cadence.
Hollywood letting the teams know that the rhythm of her call is deliberate to ensure that bit more stability as Weaver waits for the opportunity to get the ball in. Nathan Smith talking about how she's matured, taking her rugby seriously, and has excelled in the Bucks rugby competition, letting them get to the final.
Yeah, big pressure on Hibbert Jones and Weaver to get this ball in and out when they're going to be under pressure. And Hibbert Jones does brilliantly well there just to get the ball out and play another phase.
Yeah, she was unlucky not to be involved with the Red Roses, Daisy Hibbert Jones. ended up captaining the cup team. It's turnover ball as well, though. Again, Gloucester-Hartpury down that short side. Now the chance for Beckett. Who's got that ban during the Guinness Women's Six Nations, so keen to get more minutes on field now. Back at club. Hurd. Hannah Jones running the arc on the outside, but Hurd still not being stopped here. Loughborough Lightning just standing off the centre. Eventually Emily Scarrett is the one that goes in to make it. And she's trying to get in and disrupt things for her England teammate. Bethan Lewis then round the corner. I think there was a clash of two Loughborough players in making the tackle. Beckett, lovely fizz out to the right. Can Mia Venner find any space? Hunt picks it and goes through Allcroft. Oh, the offload through the gap isn't quite going to work for Claky George. And
let's leave the ball here. Leave the ball there. Okay, time's
we had
up,
a collision from the two of the Loughborough Lightning players. Sadia Kabeo was involved as well.
Yeah, I thought so. Yep. Yeah, I'll go behind, okay? Yeah, it's all right.
Claky George just trying to make things work through the middle there, but offload just going forwards.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting now? Gloucester-Hartpury have ticked a couple of boxes. They've got another bonus point. They're feeling pretty comfortable. They've got themselves a 16-point lead. But we've seen a couple of these unforced errors, and there is always just a little bit. It's human nature whereby you feel as if you're getting closer to the job being done, so you start to force things. Well, actually, the hardest thing that you need to do is keep that discipline as well as tactical discipline, and not give Loughborough Lightning an opportunity to come back into the game by knocking on Resort, Mo Hunt trying offload, Claky George trying offload. And the very reason as to why they've got this lead and have this sense of dominance is, and I'm not saying don't try anything, but just perhaps being a bit better in your decision making, which then leads to your execution.
I thought you were going to say the word processes and I'd have rung the cliche bell.
Take the learnings.
No, but you're absolutely right. I mean, it is
the sporting pure, or that we often hear.
But you're spot on. I mean, it's certainly that sense that, well, if it's coming easy, how easy can we make it come? Whereas actually it came easy because you did the basics right and earned the right.
Exactly. And for me, if I was to summarise this half, we've got a Loughborough Lightning team that probably know they can't get into that top four. You mentioned it pre-match that they're looking ahead to next season a little bit, but playing really well. I think physically they've been there. When they've got into the 22, they've been excellent. The only thing I would want to change in the second half would be kick the ball in field. They've not kicked the ball at all, and their lack of territory has allowed Gloucester-Hartpury to show us how good they've been.
Another chance to get some liquid on. Emma Wassell, been thinking of her, of course, after the sad loss of her mum. Understand a conversation we've had with Nathan Smith. She wanted to get back to playing, and well, she said to the Loughborough Lightning coach, "I'm not coming back if you're going to be nice to me." Nathan Smith said, "That's a relief for both of us." Scottish international, 67 caps. She's also the Queen line-out stealer for the side, averaging 5 a game. It's certainly been a game this afternoon that the scrum has featured in a lot more than the line-out. As Uwe Monia says, it's not been a game that's been racked with tons of kicking. Well, here's a look at the game's tries that we've seen so far, and well, it was Tatiana Hurd who opened the scoring with, well, a typically Tatiana Hurd run, head down and strong. But what about that line from Emily Scarrett?
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? And then the speed of the ruck absolutely beats Gloucester-Hartpury. And a very popular try, Laura Keats coming back, but Hartpury once again, Gloucester-Hartpury gets it back into an Alex Matthews off the back of that scrum. Just dominating Helen Nelson through there. And it felt a little bit like a basketball match. You score, we score, you score, we score. Territory truly is king. And Alex Matthews on the double again. And this one, the fourth one. Lovely carry here from Sarah Beckett. Another Red Rose international, Mo Hunt, securing the bonus point.
Front row, I need you to hold your weight, okay?
Sean Lynn watching on.
Time back on.
Mentioned it at the start of the show, Hugo. I mean, given the Welsh campaign, given where they finished in that Guinness Women's Six Nations, do the WRU need to give any thought to a man who's coached the team to a title in the PWR, Welshman?
It's a difficult conversation talking about posts that actually aren't available. However, when you want to see an improvement in a national side and a performance, and there's someone who is leading the most comprehensive programme in the PWR, I'd be getting on the blower.
Another strong scrum from Gloucester-Hartpury. Earns them the penalty. Mo Hunt just waits over it. Proving to be a tough afternoon for that Loughborough Lightning front row.
And the option taken from Gloucester-Hartpury, I think, is such a privilege, just because Carson, Jones, Muir doing the business. When you have that centre dependability, honestly, you were literally saying to the backs, pick the right options and execute, because we will get our job done. So Mo Hunt putting the ball into the scrum, same options both sides.
Okay, come up. What's the issue?
Well, Lucy Caroline is the one who's come on. It was Maya Muller, who's gone off for an HIA after that collision with Cabea, her own teammate. Caroline, who was another one of those England under-20s playing against Wales last week. In through the University of Worcester in their centre of excellence, now at Loughborough, of course. But they are up against that all-international front row, as you mentioned, Hugo. Carson, Jones and Muir. Similar setup to where we saw Gloucester-Hartpury further upfield with just Singh to the right, but this time they're going to break to the left, and it's just Matthews, and it's just too easy for Gloucester-Hartpury. Matthews to Hurd. They've got 4 tries between them. Gloucester-Hartpury up to 33. Conversion to come.
Whilst it looks really simple, it's simple just because of the player profile and because of their intellect. We cannot give Carson Jones-Muir enough credit for this and creating those soft shoulders. But when Alex Matthews does a job and beat and weave around the corner, and then off the shoulder, you've got Tatiana Hurd running into the space, bisecting that Loughborough Lightning backline. What looks so simple is the creation of so many working parts coming together. I tell you what, it's a big kick. Emma Singh, who's already top point scorer. This goes over. Send her into 3 figures.
That'll do very nicely. The league's top point scorer brings up the ton. 100 points over the course of this season for Emma Singh.
But there'll be people saying, Emma Singh, I mean, she just raised the bat here. 3 figures, 100 points, top point scorer. If only she could just play for the Red Roses. And then you say, well, there's this player called Ellie Kildunn, and I think she's probably the best player on the planet. And she plays in the same position, which is so unfortunate, because Emma Singh is a proper player.
Yeah, brilliant from the tee, and that's actually been wrestled away from Loughborough Lightning. Scarrott was in there to play 9, but Weaver got there, and then O'Donnell gets her head down and drives forwards. And Loughborough Lightning certainly need a bit of that if they're going to create this field position into anything more, as Malcolm avoids getting turned over. Wassell with the dummy needs to avoid getting isolated. Then it's there for Nelson. They're a little flat-footed, though, Loughborough, as Amelia Williams takes it on, another one of those under-20s. O'Donnell back for Nelson, but it's loose, and they're losing 10 metres in the process, back towards their own halfway line. Call from Calladine, then Nelson, then Scarrett, who was a little deeper to just give herself a bit more time, but it skips into the hands of Singh. Last 2 minutes of the first half, which has taken a fair while, given the couple of injury stoppages that we've had. Scarrett, Nelson on the shoulder, looked at the options, but decided to carry, just to take the metres with the legs. Oof. Big shot came in from Muir, didn't it? Another good hit. Carson maybe in there. Weaver, O'Donnell. Weaver again. It's not going to be Nelson this time. Alex Matthews putting in the shot.
I've got to say here, Loughborough Lightning playing some really nice stuff, but it's all in front of Gloucester-Hartpury. And you wonder, when you scored 5 tries, have you still got the appetite to get out and defend? And that kick is a consequence of Lightning's attack. Oh, play on. Interesting.
Yeah, I think the assistant referee has certainly got the call correct. Whereas I think... Oh, well, I was going to say...
Just in line with you. OK.
Yeah, so it's an offside penalty. Interesting, that one, because if the knock-on had been given, then would the offside have happened? Because the players would have stopped.
True. But
anyway.
No, I think it's a fair point. But it's taken 38 minutes, and I keep banging on about it. Oh, no, missed touch, Clanky George. That's a decent response. What I was going to say was, Loughborough Lightning, it's taken them 38 minutes to kick the ball when they get a decent advantage off the back of it. That was their first kick this half. And I'm not here trying to promote more kicking. What I am here to promote is maybe a bit more heads-up rugby, and that could be catch, pass, run, whatever it is. Try and find the space.
Well, with the sun high in the sky as well, I mean, it wasn't the best chased kick, but actually it did bring about the error from Singh. That's a decent line-out from Lightning. Weaver had to reach high for that one, and then she sent the same one on for Nelson, but Scarrett on the wraparound, and now a little bit more room for them to work as Tasker feeds away. That's a bit better from Lightning. Scarrett is turning up in all sorts of areas of the field. Yeah,
well, her passing in those 15-metre channels was excellent. How about that?
Offload to Williams from Cabea, showing the strength of the Red Rose and her ability to also be in the right places. Of course, had a touch of the England captaincy when Marley Packer left the field during the Guinness Women's Six Nations, as John Mitchell looks to grow the other leaders in his squad.
Well, Cabea and Packer are a little bit like, I mean, on the same team, so pardon me for the reference, a bit like Nadal and Federer, making one another certainly that much better.
So you're on the edge of this white line.
But it's a lovely little pick and go, and then the offload off the back of it.
It's on this edge.
Emma Singh gets her head over the ball valiantly. Oh, I think that's really tough, actually. But a final opportunity for Lightning to try and get something out of this half.
Yeah, can they get a third try on the board? A lot of movement. It's Wassell to the front. She couldn't get hold of it. Bethan Lewis is going to come away with the spoils. Hunt dummies the service a couple of times. They'll know that the clock's in the red, and all they need to do is stick it into the stands and take a break from the sunshine. Hunt will feed the short side, but actually there's room for a little bit of running. And away they go again. That one was loose, though. Morale will jump on it. And there's a scrum advantage here to be played. Weaver, well, she's lost it.
Knock on there, guys.
And the knock-on will bring around the end of that first 40 minutes. Well, players have done well to stick at the sort of tempo, given the couple of long stoppages that we had. But it's Gloucester-Hartpury who have come here and are so far showing most of the running. 5 tries over the course of that first half. A brace from Alex Matthews and from Tatiana Hurd. Mo Hunt dotting one down from 0 range as well, to the 2 scored by Lightning through Keats and Muller. Loughborough Lightning need to just find their way into those sorts of areas of the field a little bit more. At half-time, it is Loughborough Lightning 12, Gloucester-Hartpury 35. So, plenty of excitement around the women's rugby scene, and South Africa also qualifying for Rugby World Cup 2025. So it's all going on this Sunday. And we also have the return of Maya Muller, who's come on, having passed her HAA. Back to join us. Lucy Calladine retaking a place on the bench. So 5 tries to 2 then. Gloucester-Hartpury operating during that first half exactly as they would have liked to. Injury to Kelsey Jones. We understand that Kelsey has been able to stay with us, which is good news. Cakey George from Hunt. Nelson, central position. Options to the left. Comes up to halfway. We'll find Westcombe Evans, who's really made that left wing shirt her own. Started on the wing every match so far, except that round 4 loss to Bristol. Joining the line goes Tasker. 9 starts in 12 for her, but the ball going forward is going to provide another chance of possession for Gloucester-Hartpury. And they just have that ruthlessness that we're used to seeing at international level, whether it's the Red Roses or combining with the Welsh internationals in the squad. They sent an opportunity to go, and this is what they do, and it's Hendy. Lovely balanced run there for Hunt. Bagged herself 1 meat pie in that first half. That looked a little bit forwards, didn't it? We're right in line with that, Ugo Monye, but they continue to play, and Steph Else isn't going to hang around. Cakey George, there for Allcroft. Just resets the footwork. George, miss pass. They're queuing up on the outside. It'll be Emma Singh to finish the try. It's a 6th for Gloucester-Hartpury. They get themselves up to 40. She's topped the scoring in terms of adding the conversions. But I just wonder, Ugo, whether we need to go back and have a look at that pass.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a that's forward.
Check. I'm going to show you a forward pass.
It's a forward pass to Sarah Beckett, I think, unfortunately.
Okay, stop there. Time's off.
Yeah, 2 second rows combining
so
there.
You still had penalty advantage when you called this.
Okay.
Nikki O'Donnell is our TMO.
Can I have a look at that again, please?
It's just coming on the screen now.
Yeah, I'm happy that's forward. Okay.
So you will have heard Nikki O'Donnell say that there was penalty advantage being played at the time. So while the pass was forward, they'll have a chance to come back. So Loughborough Lightning will be pleased not to have conceded the 5, but Rachel Malcolm will now be given the update.
No try for the forward pass, going back to the penalty advantage for never onside. Okay. Okay.
Beyond that pass, it was a ridiculous try, by the way. Because I thought Lightning did well to shut it down on a few occasions, but they have so many, Gloucester have so many individuals that can just resuscitate slow ball into very quick ball.
Just here. Okay. No, it's a penalty, okay, for a never onside. What was the number, guys? Number 7. Okay, cool. Time back on. 7, never onside.
So option's going to be for Cakey George to try and give Gloucester-Hartpury a nudge into that far corner. Now very much installed as Wales fly half. Took her time in getting there. She started every match at 10 for Gloucester-Hartpury this season and featured right throughout that Guinness Women's Six Nations campaign. And
guys, you're here.
Recognition of her ability to kick a team round the park and put them in exactly these sorts of positions.
Yeah, when you have a nickname 50-22, territory not going to be an issue. Unfortunate thing is, I guess, the protection she has from Gloucester-Hartpury is not quite the same at an international level.
No, move.
Ball won by Steph Else. Captain that England under-20 side last week, was in the under-18s before that.
Advantage 17.
Making a 10th Premiership Women's Rugby appearance as Her just has to stoop a little to get hold of that. It's knocked in the tackle, but we were coming back.
Just here.
Natasha Hunt will follow Hollywood all the way.
Change in bind.
Expect that, yes, George will nudge this. Just a few metres needed this time up to that 5-metre line. Gloucester-Hartpury's line-out hasn't been the best in the league, but they have still managed to get 41% of their tries from the set piece. When Sean Lynn talks about wanting to work on the little things, well, these will be the sorts of moments that they want to get absolutely right. Niamh Jones just waits to get that one up, and Lewis brings it down. Not quite getting all the go forward they might have initially wanted, but now the momentum, and now they're down. Jones gets it, the Ballymena-born hooker. Ireland's player of the year last season. 7th try. Or 6th try, sorry, for Gloucester-Hartpury.
Yes, it's quality. Gloucester-Hartpury bringing the power in PWR again today. We've seen it in the scrum. The baton was passed on to the line-out, and then Niamh Jones. Not only is it a great try and a great show of their strength and power, but it's almost at this point showing off the strength and depth they have. You look at someone like Sam Monaghan, number 19 on the bench, who was the top ball carrier in the Women's Six Nations. She may want to throw around her timber and power in a few moments. Rachel Lund back on the bench as well. The 44 minutes into this. And Gloucester-Hartpury reaching that magic number of 40 for the 4th game in a row.
That one's not quite going to make it from Emma Singh. She is up to that ton already. Well, it'll be a disappointing sight as far as Kelsey Jones is concerned, but she is out with us watching on, as you see, with the leg in the brace. Certainly wish her the very best.
Oh, that's brilliant news. Hearing her in massive distress and been stretched off the pitch. Excellent to see her up and with Kelsey Jones.
All on.
Lightning with Nelson. Hurd putting in the tackle. Tasker getting in and helping security as well. Scantable.
Don't hold on.
And it's there from Muller. Good tackle from Lewis. Morale, now Scarrett. And they work it through the hands nicely to find more room for Westcombe Evans, who just momentarily got on the outside of Niamh Jones. She loves a tackle, does Niamh Jones, so you're not going to stay far away from her for too long. But it's Scarrett, a bit more in first receiver, and then pops the ball up nicely. Isla Curfew coming onto it as the changes start to be made. Morale. Then it's on for Katie Trevathan. Record appearance maker for Lightning today. A 99th appearance for the club. Remarkable. It's Tasker. Then through Scarrett once more, who seems to be heavily involved in terms of trying to upkeep the momentum in this side. Nelson again, just looked to delay the pass, wanted to get the offload away. Curfew was impeded on the way through, not able to take it. And I think it's a good spot by Holly Wood, who's actually called the penalty advantage as a result. So Wassell around the corner as they play under this advantage. Cabea offering herself to the right. Nearly got in each other's way. Weaver just looked to the left, but there wasn't much of an offering in terms of a three-quarter line. And now the players come around the corner again. Trevathan once more. Coaches the university side. She has attempted to try and hang up the boots, but she's still involved in playing. Now the crossfield kick from Scarrett. Oh, it's a brilliant last-ditch tackle from Mia Venner to stop the score. They were under penalty advantage, but that was a judo throw.
Well, just the quality of rugby we have seen today has been exceptional, but when the attack is matched by the defence, or even bettered by the defence,
Number 1, tackle.
how good is that? You couldn't have wanted a better kick from Emily Scarrett, and you really couldn't have wanted a better cover tackle from Mia Werner. That's the second one we've seen today.
He was part of the England training squad during the Six Nations, got involved in the fallow weekly event. She is being kept a close eye on by John Mitchell and his spies. We have seen Sarah Hunter in the stands. Might be a social visit, you never know.
That is absolutely sensational. It's not just the effect of the tackle, but the choice of tackle. Class Amir Bennett.
Now, Gloucester-Hartpury's answer to the bomb squad is coming on. El Perry, Laura Delgado and Sam Monaghan are entering the fray. And Bianca Blackburn as well, replacing Mo Hunt. So while Loughborough Lightning get themselves in a position to try and secure themselves a third try, Gloucester-Hartpury have, well, brought on an extra couple of bouncers to try and deny them. But this is trucking very nicely towards the line from a Lightning perspective, and they're down, and it is try number 3. Really well worked. Second for the hooker. Loughborough Lightning have found a way to get under the skin of this Gloucester-Hartpury team a couple of times, and that was just as effective as any.
It really is. We're repeating ourselves a fair amount, but only because of the excellence and the quality that we're seeing on display. We often use the red zone, that's the 22, and how efficient you can be. That's a real litmus test for the quality of both sides, and today both sides, when they're getting into this danger zone, are really being quite outstanding. A driving line out just a few moments ago from Gloucester-Hartpury, backed up by one from Loughborough Lightning, and the second there from Muller.
Scout just takes on a bit of water. Loughborough Lightning have got Christine Belisle running the tee. She also has the Mawam sweets in her sock for her favourite teammates, no doubt. Love that. That will do from Emily Scarrett, who, well, is being watched on by one of her England teammates. I think we can join LJ, who's found Ellie Kildare.
I certainly have, Nick. I'm very excited to be joined by the woman of the moment, Ellie Kildare, after the most incredible Six Nations campaign. You must be high as a kite.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a bit of time to decompress, but I think it's just how the team's playing at the moment is so exciting. I already want to be back with the girls. I mean, I'm here at a game today where half the group are probably from the England group, so I just love being in camp and love playing, and it's been a really fun Six Nations.
There's a debate at the moment, are you the best player in the world? I think we can certainly bestow that you're the best back in the world. Is Alex Matthews the best forward in the world at the moment? She's tearing up trees here again today, isn't she?
Yeah, she's doing incredible. I mean, a few of them are doing really well. I think, you know, everyone's got very different attributes to the games at the moment, and you can't compare one girl to another girl. So Alex is doing well. She's probably one of the best forwards in the world. There's a few more out there that are going to challenge her as well.
Obviously, your Prem 15 season's over because you are now off to the Sevens programme, hoping for a spot in that Olympic side in Paris in just a couple of months' time. Madrid is the last stop in the World Series. Are you going to be part of that?
Well, I hope so. We've got camp on Friday for a few days, so I still need to put my work in and make that squad. But yeah, I hope to go out there because at least then I get a little bit of sevens under my belt before the selection comes about.
And a bit more sunshine.
And a bit more sunshine, yeah. I mean, it's nice now, but I've looked at the weather already. It's not staying, so I'm not getting used to it.
Thanks for your time, Ellie. Back to you, Nick.
Great to hear from Ellie Kildare, who has got her own venture 50-22. Well, we've just seen a 50-22 that's come in from Emily Scarrett.
Oh, my word. How good was that from Emily Scarrett? What a position now for Loughborough Lightning and Sadia Kabaya.
Yeah, they've chosen to go round the front. Neve Jones doing her best to put in another one of those big shots. They've just fluffed their lines a little bit here, though. Helen Nelson having to try and get themselves reset now. Morale, oh, she's looked for the little midfield dig, which Scarrett's chasing. The bounce of that oval ball. Sam Monaghan the first to react. Was it? No, Alex Matthews. Now it's there for Gloucester-Hartpury, and they're going to try and play out of their 22. Venner, oh, that's really nicely worked. And Emma Singh tearing up that left-hand touchline. Looked to try and get the offload away. Hannah Jones had slightly overrun it, and it's loose off the boot of Helen Nelson, and then on the floor, and players in an offside position play it, and Bianca Blackburn, as is befitting of a Gloucester-Hartpury scrum half, isn't going to hang around. Hurd into the 22, then a bit more depth, then the tip on. It's just absolutely opening up here for Gloucester-Hartpury. Laura Delgado, is it? Trundling all of the way and managing to find the turf to get the ball down. Brilliant team try, the momentum from one end to the other of Gloucester-Hartpury. And the Spanish international, well, big days to come for Spain with their game against Wales at Cardiff Arms Park at the end of June to determine who goes into WXV 2 and 3. But that is a great score, finished off.
It really is. Outstanding. You talk about transitional rugby, and that is how can you go from defence into attack as quick as possible. And this is what we've seen. Delgado finding top gear. But I'll tell you something, that is sensational. From their half, puts the Jets down. At that point there, that is brilliant. She's been on the pitch all of 3 seconds. And that, for me, is control. And that is yet another try.
Cheers.
One of those who takes the captain's armband for Spain. Played during their Rugby Europe Championship campaign. Anna Singh gets another one. Gloucester-Hartpury up to 47, and Ugo Caleb tells me in my ear that is 9 visits to the 22, 8 tries.
I think that's the threat.
Or 8 scores, I should say.
Yeah, that is the threat. We're not talking about tries from 5 metres. We have seen a wide range of tries from everywhere. Line out, scrum, ball carrying, individual brilliance, and breakaway tries.
George.
Winger's got you on.
Nelson claims it on the touchline, steps back in, gets around Venner. O'Donnell was just running back to take her place in the line. Called upon immediately to take it up and take it forwards. Good drive, carry from Trevathan.
O'Donnell getting through some work, isn't she?
21 stop. Okay, go on.
Little nudge through. Venner was in a good position. George didn't have a lot of time, and due to the nature of the pass was outside the 22, so either the best option was just to carry as Delgado takes it once more. Blackburn can't pass this back in for a clearance from the 22 either, but Bethan Lewis is more than happy to just take it up, the Welsh international. 12th Premiership Women's Rugby appearance of the season for Lewis. That was over on the left shoulder of George, and as everyone was waiting for the clearance, it's the big pass from Hurd, and there's support on the outside from Hendy, who'll absolutely get on her bike. Scarrett's come across to make the tackle. Oh, it's a super last line of defence from the former World Player of the Year. Blackburn, the rest of her teammates have arrived just in time. Else with more metres. Then it's George, where it all started in the 22. Blackburn looked to the right, got the call pretty loudly from Else on the left as El Perry comes forwards. Hurd there to play it. Anyone from Gloucester-Hartpury happy to turn up in any position to give them the momentum they need. Blackburn has a look to the left, just one option out there in Hurd, but Else striving for the line. And it is the desire of this Gloucester-Hartpury team to keep playing for each other. The smiles on their faces, the effort that continues to come in that pushes them to an 8th try and over the 50-point mark at Franklin's Gardens. So
impressed by Steph Else today. Lots of different attributes of it, but it starts in the decision-making and the bravery to play from deep. Oh, I'll just boot it nowhere and I'll send it to Tatiana Hurd. Let's see what she's got. How about this? Gorgeous pass. And then just executing a 2v1 right here. I'll tell you what, Emily Scarrett in the middle of the pitch where winger can go one way or another, that's a world-class tackle. And then gets back to her feet to try and slow it down. And then Steph Else, by the way, her dexterity, just to get her arm up and over the tackler, then to reach out, that is class. Her link play today and offering, trying to keep the ball alive, that is just rewards for a massive output today.
Pass from George to just push Hannah Jones on that outside arc and create that 2-on-1 for Hendy. Full combination across the team. Singh eyeing up another. That'll do. Gloucester-Hartpury up to 54 now.
That's really nice. And I think another thing I would say about Gloucester-Hartpury is physically they'll challenge you, but when they're setting up to kick and then they'll end up passing, they'll mentally challenge you. And then when they get this far away, that individual power or brilliance or handling, all the connectivity which they're showing, just another underlining of their champion quality.
Singh from the 22. Nelson looked at the options to this side. Morale was level with her at best, so Nelson understood that she had to just take that one forwards as Meg Davey plays it away. There is an advantage being played after Nikki O'Donnell just comes in and signals a high tackle advantage.
High tackle number 17. 17 high.
Goes against Perry. He's named in the England training squad in January for the first time in a couple of years. Was involved in that match against France in those November internationals in 2020. If you remember that late penalty that Emily Scarrett slotted, puffed her cheeks as if to say, that was definitely not a foregone conclusion. That was Perry's last involvement, but she's certainly in and around the thinking.
Okay? Stay on your front, man.
Competing with Bottoman, Matt Carson, for that loose head prop shirt.
She can play Bottoman, can't she?
Just a touch. In fact, I wouldn't want her playing touch because you'd get creamed, wouldn't you? Ball is over the top. Steph Else is going to be the one to come forwards on it. Oh, but the rip was really solid. It just hasn't come back on the Loughborough side. So it's going to allow Claykie George, who's taken up a bit of a position in the midfield there. He's also been able to sweep up the little dink through from Westcombe Evans. So disconnection from both sides a little bit, but it's Leah Green who sends it through Nelson as a bit of a one-on-one challenge.
But look how aggressive that line speed was there from Gloucester-Hartpury. And now that tackle just slightly high, but the kick chase just to force Loughborough Lightning. That's really good intent. The Lightning now rolling the dice with the penalty advantage they've got.
No advantage. Thanks.
Nothing quite going to come of it.
Number 19 high.
Without their USA stars at the minute as well, Loughborough Lightning, likes of Catherine Tredder, Hallie Taufu, Bulu Matai Tonga, involved in that Pacific 4 series, from which we know that Canada have qualified for WXV1, where they will meet the Red Roses in France and Ireland, of course.
Guys, on the 10. On the 10. Again, no creeping across, guys.
What a campaign it was in that Guinness Women's Six Nations from Ireland. Sam Monaghan involved in captaining the side. Under Scott Beeman, of course, former Red Roses coach.
Good contest.
Set out at the start of the championship that their target was to finish third. Felt like it was a big ask, but some brilliant results, and what green shoots for the future they have, if you'll pardon the colorific pun. Nelson didn't have much time to wind up the one on the big outside, and Leah Green knew she was under an awful lot of pressure, at least got rid of the ball. Green, another one of those under-20s who played last week, was at full-back. Been playing a bit at 10 in Bucks for Loughborough Lightning and in the PWR Cup. She's a decent talent as well. Slotted a few kicks from the tee. But this is Nelson. Did that just go forwards in a tackle from Monaghan? It did. Hugo, it seems to have been a trait of Helen Nelson's a lot during this game, taking a lot of ball flat-footed, a lot of ball standing still. Because some 10s are in a position to be able to then take the ball and wind up and make a decision. But I guess as a defence, it's not providing you with something else to defend as a running threat, is it?
Yeah, see, Helen Nelson, I've actually quite liked how she's played today. She's been quite aggressive at the line, I think. What she's looking for is when you are getting to the line, you're holding up, is to have options in around you, and then it's just up to her to execute, and they've not always been there. Some of that's because they've not had the quick ball that they've wanted to play off, and other parts of that is Gloucester just suffocating Loughborough Lightning and not offering them too many options.
Allcroft having shifted to control things at the back, but it was nothing to do with her that the ball was slightly nudged forwards.
Both sides, flat backs, nothing going up.
Expect better hands from someone like Lakey George, a former Wales under-19 cricketer. Davey. 13 appearances this season, that's every game. 10 starts. He's going to be under plenty of pressure, and in fact, penalty has gone the way of Loughborough Lightning as El Perry deemed to have been turning in at scrum time. Rare as hen's teeth in this game for Loughborough Lightning scrum penalties.
17 angling in. Guys, on this graph right here.
No guarantees that the weather's going to stay this warm all the way through to the final, but Gloucester-Hartpury will know that they've got to keep toiling, got to keep working hard, despite the lead, knowing that these tougher days are to come. Guaranteed a home semi-final, of course, as are Saracens in the PWR. Parts of the maul shearing away, but it is still there under Lightning control as Rachel Malcolm gets involved and will feed it away. Morale just stepping sideways. Good arrival at pace from Rachel Malcolm. Loopy one for Nelson. Going to have to work hard to try and find that wide outside, but they do cut in field, and it's good pace. Last line of defence will just get that. A reload for Trevarthen. Loughborough Lightning desperately going in search of a fourth try, but they're held up over the line, and it'll be the goal line dropout.
Scantlebury did so well, didn't she? Piston-like fend. So good, absolutely no right for this. No space, bang, beats one, beats two, beats three. Still stays on her feet. And at this point here, you thought for Lightning, this is the chance now. You can tell so much about a team through their defence, and we're seeing that today for Gloucester. The game's done, but they're a proud bunch and still fighting for everything.
Well positioned on the wing as well, Scantlebury, to deal with the goal line dropout. Gloucester-Hartpury tried to go in and get hold of that, but they were warned off it by the referee as Isla Curfey takes it on. O'Donnell has done what's been required of her. Gloucester-Hartpury have kept her relatively quiet. There was not a lot on there for Carmela Morale.
There wasn't, and this is what I'm talking about in terms of the options from Loughborough Lightning. The physicality that Gloucester are displaying, not quite giving that lightning fastball to Loughborough Lightning, but Cabella has got something to... Oh, that's stunning.
Came out of the back from Emily Scarrett to keep the ball alive. Beautifully done. Cabella via Scarrett, the Red Roses combining, and they're still in a dangerous area of the field as far as Gloucester-Hartpury are concerned. Malcolm. Uge Monya's signalling that they need quick ball here, that players have got to roll away. Muller going close. Can they get this ball recycled, though, and try and catch this Gloucester-Hartpury defence cold? They go short again, going in search of a fourth try. And that precious bonus point.
Time off, guys. Time off.
Are we going to be employing the role of Nikki O'Donnell here? It looks like it.
This is tight.
Okay. Nikki, coming up to you. Okay. I do eventually have a ground in, so just want to confirm. On-field decision is try. Can you just confirm that, please? Yes, that was the advantage for us.
On-field decision is try. We'll just get the angles for you now, Holly.
On-field decision is try. So we need concrete evidence, anything, to be able to overturn this. And I'll tell you what, the build-up absolutely deserved the try.
That might just go through to the whitewash.
It's not conclusive, and therefore the on-field decision will stand. This will be given, Nick.
Well, Hollywood was one of those in a key position.
Okay.
Kath O'Donnell driving down to the line. I'd say from where the ball was in her hand, it looks like it would be in line with that white line.
No, because it's fangled to disallow the try, so I'm sticking with my on-field decision of try. Do you agree?
Yes, on those angles, there is nothing to overturn you, Holly.
Perfect, thank you.
Try is given. Kath O'Donnell has secured a 4-try bonus point for Loughborough Lightning. They will get something for their toils this afternoon, even if all efforts against the defending champions have proved challenging at times.
Speaking about the build-up and Sadia Kabaya, often the catalyst. How about this? Excellent. Emily Scarrett out the back. And that continuity that we haven't continuously seen from Lightning in the second half. Wars and Kath O'Donnell's often those final inches, metres. Kabaya pointing, she can see it, Kath O'Donnell can see it. And most importantly, Hollywood, the referee today, she could see it also.
Scarrett quite happily able to add the extras. Takes Loughborough Lightning up to 26. Gloucester-Hartpury on 54. Let's join LJ, who's with Tatiana Hurd.
Tats, bags of tries for Gloucester-Hartpury today, but you've just given them the losing bonus point. I've got a big question now as we run into the end of the season. You've got Saracens in a few weeks' time. Is there any fear that your defence isn't ticking as well as your attack?
I mean, we've worked a lot on our attack this week. I think the biggest thing was gelling back together, and obviously we've let in a few tries there, but I think it is just about our process, and I think that we can fix a lot of things going into next week, so not too stressed about that, because there's things we can work on in the week.
I feel like it was quite a negative question for me, but I'm just battling to find if there's any chink in the armour of this Gloucester-Hartpury side, because you do just seem like the happiest players in the world, being together, being part of the circus. How much is that the secret ingredient, or not so secret ingredient for Gloucester-Hartpury this term?
Yeah, I think it's massive. I think our culture is really important to us as a group, and everyone does really work hard for each other. I think there's a big focus on our work rate and a lot of the things that we do off-field together as well to make sure we gel as a side, and I think that definitely comes in today when we obviously have had only a few sessions before coming into the game, so I think it's been massive.
I spoke to Linny before the game, and I chatted to him about the fact that you've hit the heights at every game you've played this season. There's only one match where you haven't scored 5 points, taken 5 match points from it. Going to the run-in, going to defend your title, are there any more gears that you can go through as a side?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's been a lot of games this weekend where we haven't necessarily been happy with our performances, but I think that is definitely something that comes with wanting to win and wanting to perform every week. So there's always things you can work on, and it's just about making sure that we focus on them and bring them into the following games and make sure we always improve.
Tats, when I came over to find you earlier on, I said I'd just seen your mum in the stands over there, and you told me that you didn't know she was here. I don't believe that you didn't hear her screaming when you went over for those 2 tries.
Well, I mean, she's normally fairly loud, but it's a bit too far away over there, isn't it?
I reckon Nick Keith can probably hear her in the commentary, so we'll go back to him up there.
Thank you, LJ. Thought we were going to see another Gloucester-Hartpury try for a minute, which no doubt would have seen Tatiana Hurd consider an extra cup of Yorkshire tea.
I I'll tell you the other thing that would really focus my mind. If we were into round 15 of the regular season as champions, I'd want to go through the season unbeaten. Not been done, but like, that's what I want. We set something up last year. Now, how can we set our own dynasty, our own legacy? That would be the one thing that wouldn't allow complacency to creep in.
Good take. Neve Jones is at the back of this. It's absolutely rumbling to the line. It's going to be the score. Neve Jones right at the tail and able to come up with it. Try number 9 for the Cherry and Whites. They are in ruthless mood.
Thanks.
It's class again. Just keeping the game simple and in control of what they need to do. Exerting themselves, and it's great to see. It's not just the starting 15. Kelsey Jones, she goes off. We wish her the very best in her recovery. Neve Jones comes on. She fancies a slice at getting a couple of tries as well.
Absolutely. Brace for Jones. Brace for Matthews. Brace for Hurd. Veritable dentists. Don't forget,
All onside. Gloucester, you're on the end of the white line. Just stay on that line, please. Step across, step across.
6 minutes remaining of the match. Good win at the top. Davey. Nelson on the run around from Morale. Gloucester-Hartpury just about managing to slow it down. Wescombe Evans coming across from the left. Certainly some really positive moments from Loughborough Lightning in terms of their fluency, running the sorts of shapes. But when you're up against such a fierce international defence that includes the likes of Sam Monaghan, just in danger of going backwards while you're in possession. That's what the Irish skipper is able to do as part of that big pink wall we're seeing this afternoon in Northampton. That's a solid carry from Curfey. Nelson looking for a Scottish teammate in Wassell. Made some good meters. Then it's there for Hibbert Jones. One cap with the Red Roses, Hibbert Jones. Expect there'll be a few more of those. Signed from Sale last season.
Okay, nothing coming there. Back for the not rolling.
Going back for a penalty.
So, not rolling.
Loughborough Lightning into the corner. Emerson unable to
Right.
Hold on to it.
Time off. I'm guessing she's putting
Ugo,
the line out.
who's impressed you this afternoon?
Yeah.
Well, there's been loads of quality performances. Whilst we just have a look, there's a slight break in play now for an injury. But I think for me, the Gloucester-Hartpury front row, I think they've been excellent. Carson Jones, good to see her up on her feet. And Muir as well. But for me, the outstanding player of an outstanding team is Alex Matthews. She is absolutely phenomenal. 2 tries, an assist and a bucket load of work. And as you can see, a popular member of her squad. She almost looks embarrassed to have got it, but no doubt she's very used to picking up accolades and awards in her very distinguished career.
Well, the support squad have certainly recognised the nod. It is entirely befitting of Alex Matthews' character that she will have been completely embarrassed by the nod. She just likes playing a rugby. Accolades are second nature, but my goodness, didn't she have a wonderful Six Nations Championship, and she is back in club colours, doing what she does best. Now, little one-on-one here. Emma Singh having to stay in the fight with Westcombe Evans. Westcombe Evans driving well to the line. Singh needed a few of her Gloucester-Hartpury teammates to help her out and stop the thrust.
That was a good one-on-one, wasn't it?
Another low position. They need to try and get under Gloucester-Hartpury here. Continually narrow, though. Not many options out wide. Don't get the sense that it's going to be going down the back line. And they give away the held-up option, and that's just too easy for Gloucester-Hartpury.
Yeah, it worked for them in the first half, didn't it? And they are very physical, but sometimes you need to offer up more than just the one picture, which made it, in the end, easier for Gloucester-Hartpury to defend.
Little low one from Claky George. Not quite sure if it's where she meant it to go, but to allow the counter-attack run for Leah Green. Nelson. Option on the run. Sally Williams. Second PWR appearance of the season, and come off the bench against Bristol in round 4. Another good pick from Trevathan. Oh, but now it just goes forwards. Just on the transfer and the attempt to keep it alive.
Time off, got to play it down. Yeah,
just over 2 minutes remaining of this one.
Yeah, Walter can come on.
Just lost a bit of fluency, hasn't it, in the final 20, which is obvious. I think when you lose a little bit of jeopardy, and the game feels like it's done, and then you get a number of different replacements coming on, we'll lose a bit of fluency as well as some injuries, but an excellent job done by Gloucester.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll tell you something, Nick, there's no better feeling than when you've been as brilliant as what they've been, 61 points, and you still go in with that niggling feeling of, oh, well, we could be better at this, that, and they're just like, okay, well, if we were to get slightly better at our scrum, our line out, a little bit of our defence, we're disappointed we let in 4 tries, then that's all the motivation you need for Loughborough. Hella Rowland, they'll certainly want to get her on the pitch. Nelson, Scarrett, and there's so much quality there, that's for sure, and at times they've looked cohesive, fluid, dangerous, but unfortunately the challenge is against something which we're not used to seeing.
Yeah, we talk about the USA players they're missing, also missing likes of Chloe Rowley, developing another young 7 in Ellie Roberts, who was playing under 20s. No Lily Ives Campion currently either, as Lucy Calladine comes onto the field and will replace Muller. Got on earlier with the HIA. Been working hard on the throwing. She'll have to be back to using a size 5 this week, as was the rest of the under-20s, because of course they were playing with the 4.5 size ball last week. You speak to most of the senior women's players, and probably plenty underneath, they will say they're very happy with a size 5, but it is something that is being looked at. Gloucester-Hartpury still minded to strike from their own line, and they've done really well to find out wide. And it's Rachel Lund. Hadn't noticed her tiptoe onto the field, so great to see Lund back on and back fit for Gloucester-Hartpury. Blackburn.
This is what I like about Gloucester-Hartpury. Had a play, had a little gorgeous touch that. We're back into it.
Yeah, that worked nicely from Green. Davey. Wassell. Sells the half dummy. Bit of a collision in the tackle for Perry. Davey looks at the option right. Scarrett was there, but it's going to come back to Wassell, who nearly had the option of the inside ball, but couldn't quite make it.
How hard has she worked?
Nelson. And it's there.
Get you off your feet now.
Kendall Wardby.
Hands away, hands away.
Had a start at hooker against Saracens. She will be a hooker and occasional butt row combo, and there is the offload game. That was nice from Curfew to Wardby. And it's Curfew again who's being involved in a bit more of the ball playing here. Scarrett looks at the options outside, has a minute to have a look at it and then find Westcombe Evans up against Lund. Manages to get rid of her. George, can she stop the winger? She does enough to bring her into touch. The hunger still there from Gloucester-Hartpury defensively.
Yeah, I was cheering on Westcombe Evans there. Just twinkle-toeing, dancing down that touchline, only 1 or 2 metres really to spare. But I love the fact that she backs herself.
Thank you.
Does so well just to kick out of this tackle, but Claky George, very well last-ditch tackle. Very good indeed.
Okay. Stop there, Loughborough, you're on the edge of the white. Here. Guys, you're on the edge of the white. Keep going, keep going. All right, you're all good. More.
Blackburn looks ready to clear with the clock in the red, and that will be that from a Gloucester-Hartpury perspective. They have come to Franklin's Gardens and done a job. The circus rolling on with a 12th five-pointer of the season. It's 14 wins from